Benedict, firstly, I want to ask you, is a set of a Avengers film like a big superhero party?
It's a bit surreal when you kind of, Karen reminded me of this the other day, when you're wandering around and, you know, you get people going, yeah, I didn't have a good night's sleep last night. And it's like, you know, I won't say who, but it's just people having sort of very domestic conversations about you know, their agent or, you know, what they had to eat at lunch or a nice place to go for dinner or, yeah, you lifted 300 pounds, I did 250, like, you know. There's a lot of that going on. It's a big old gym, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's very surreal. It's very surreal, in my case with Spider-Man and Iron Man, to just sort of see the actors playing them kind of just chatting away, and me too, kind of just talking, shooting the breeze.
Right.
I mean, my very English accent as opposed to my American accent, you know, for the part.
What is that one day like when all of you are together? Do you get to meet between shots?
The day that I had when we were all together was a photo shoot, and it was extraordinary. And it was not just us, it was everyone who's ever been in a Marvel film, or, sorry, everyone who's ever made, produced, directed, written, and acted. As far as they could get them all in one room, we were all on this huge podium having a photograph taken.
Right. I saw, you know, yesterday at the press conference, there's so much talk about you and Robert Downey Jr. coming together.
I hope that expectations are met, because it's a very enticing prospect to see Strange and Stark go goatee to goatee. You know, the egotistical narcissists, and they are sort of cut from similar cloth and have had similar journeys. His longer but very sharp turn that Strange made in that first film, from a materialist, Western-bound logician, this doctor, profound brilliance, but, you know, destroyed by his ego and a gilded cage of his own making, into being this far more spiritual, coherent, self-sacrificing, doing good for others hero. So, you know, I think the selflessness thing that's evolving in Stark is a bit faster with Strange, so maybe he's trying to be a bit more the grown-up in the room, but there's a tiny age difference, a tiny one. I'm told to say by Robert. But, you know, apart from that, the point is, I think, you know, they are very similar characters. I think it's always fun to have what the Russos call strange alchemy and meet those conflicting egos and see what happens. And I think it'll be fun and funny and dramatic.
It will be, I'm sure. You know, the media, of course, I saw your interviews even before coming in at the press conference yesterday. There's so much, again, talk about Sherlock meeting Sherlock. Did you guys ever discuss that?
No. We had done before at a Producers Guild Awards. We were on a sofa together before presenting awards, and we had the conversation then, yeah.
Right. You know, secrecy is so important in a film like that. Yes. Do your friends, family try and ask you that what's happening when you're shooting?
No, actually, not really. And I've got, well, you know, that's quite disciplined godchildren who aren't, yeah, just very good at. One of them's coming to LA to watch it, to see the premiere. So that's very exciting. And I don't think he's like me. He's quite old-fashioned. He doesn't really like spoilers. I think he just wants to sit there and
enjoy.
Take it all in.
Right. You know, there's so much debate about watching movies in a theater, opposite watching movies on a streaming app. Yeah. Do you like going to the theaters? Do you get any chance?
I do. For a spectacle like this, I mean, there's nothing like being. I can't wait to be in LA, to be in the theatre. All this talk comes to the point where we're sat down with our popcorn and our water or whatever beverage, and we are watching the work that we've all done. But, you know, as you know, there are 20 plus, 30 plus, I don't know how many plus characters in this. So there's a lot of other work going on. Right. And there's always so much work around anything you do in one of these films anyway that you can watch without being too self-conscious. Right. And in that moment, you're a fan. And the reaction around you, well, I remember for the Strange premiere, was just electric. You don't get that at home on your own, you know. You get the waves of laughter. And if it's your work, to hear other people appreciating it is slightly nerve-wracking and surreal. But it's also really elating if it's going well, you know. So, yeah, I love going to the films. I love going, and for something like this, it's such an event. You know, you want to see this in IMAX. You want to see this on a big screen. Yeah, on a phone, it's tragic.
If you get superpowers from one superhero in the Marvel film and you can use it in the real world, whose powers will you take and how will you use it?
Well, I quite like my ability to, you know, put on a sling ring and carve a portal so I can move from one geography to another. And that would be great on a press tour. I could move from this junket to the one back in London or LA very, very swiftly without any flying. And I'd also be able to go home and have a cup of tea with my family and then go back to work. It would just make commuting really easy.
And lastly, last time you told me you prefer your fan clubs calling themselves Cumber Collective as
or Cumber people or Cumber somethings.
Do they listen to you? Do you think they've come to terms with it?
Majority do. There are some who are just sort of trapped in the headlights a little bit and they're like, don't hear anything other than, I don't know, some static or something. So yeah, God bless them and good luck to them.
Great. Thank you so much. Hope this does very well. I'm sure it will. And good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.